Now, JSW Energy, we're staying with the capital goods infrastructure sector. JSW Energy raised 5,000 crores from Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, which is ADIA, and GQG Partners and some other marquee investors as well. My colleague Vivek Iyer caught up with the management of the company, began by asking them the opportunities they see in the energy space and, of course, renewables as well. Listen in.
We see huge opportunities in the energy sector. The way the demand growth is growing, we are getting ourselves ready to contribute in this growth story of India. And just to give you an example, if we see that the demand growth when we are talking, that the power demand, peak demand, which was close to about 203 gigawatt in FY22, which reached 260 gigawatt in FY24, and which is expected to reach to a level of 335 gigawatt by FY30. So we see this as a huge opportunity, and with the special focus of the country in the renewable space, we are getting ourselves ready, and our vision is to be among the leading green energy producers in the country, and providing not only just the green energy, but a comprehensive solution to the end customers.
So in the context of you talking about energy demand soaring, we are also entering a peak season in terms of demand.
Yes.
You also built up a very successful and a large war chest of almost 5,000 crore after raising funds via the recent QIP. You've articulated plans for 2030.
Regarding the QIP, which we recently raised, I think has got a tremendous response. This is the largest fundraise in more than last 10 years in the power sector, and the third largest in the history of power sector in the country. And apart from the response which we got, which is in excess of 3.2 times the response, the participation from the global majors has given us a lot of confidence that the market also sees us as an organization which delivers the promises. And as you said, that we have already about a year and a half, 2 years back, we have said that to reach 20 gigawatt of generation capacity by FY30, we are absolutely on track. And if we say that we have divided that into 2 phases. Phase 1, we had said that we'll be reaching close to 10 gigawatt by FY25. We are very well on track, and we are absolutely confident that the work in progress which is there, that will be reaching the phase 1. And phase 2, reaching 20 gigawatt by FY30 with the kind of order book which we have and the readiness we have, we are quite confident that we'll be accelerating that growth and we'll be reaching that number a few years earlier only, which will result into achieving those EBITDA numbers and PAT numbers of FY30 significantly earlier.
Would you be able to give a timeline of when you'd be able to reach it?
Understanding the local challenges, and though we have considered all the challenges which exist in executing the project, but rather than giving an exact timeline, but few years earlier, I can say that we'll be achieving that. And then we'll be visiting, we'll not be stopping there. So FY30, what we'll be reaching, we are working on that now.
First up, market expectations for that. The QIP raise that is coming in, majority of that would be going into actually going ahead and finding a valuation benchmark as far as JSW Neo, your renewable energy arm, is concerned. The structure of the QIP is such that a lot of the money, a lot of the funds is going into repaying debt, and a certain portion, a little over 600 crore, is going into JSW Neo. So can you explain the structure to us? How will the QIP proceeds be used? And FY25, after the debt repayment, what will be the interest cost savings that we see?
See, if I take a few steps back, in the few earnings conference calls, in the past, people have asked us about different optionalities, of capital raising, if at all, and we maintained one consistent stance all the time, that whatever we do at the right time will be what is most value accretive for the business and for the shareholders, right? That has been our philosophy and the guiding principle, I would say. So we created an enabling structure 2 years ago by creating JSW Neo Energy, and through multiple corporate actions, ensuring that all the green businesses were housed under this one entity. So we created what is called a monetization vehicle, that if and when an opportunity comes, we would have the ability to do that. However, looking at, from a relative trade-off point of view, plus another very important criteria that went behind doing a QIP rather than anything else was that in the last 2 years, we've done extensive engagement with large institutional investors. And a consistent feedback we got is that great business, great management, but very low free float, and the low liquidity is becoming a constraint. So an important criteria was also how do we get high quality blue chip institutional investors in our cap table, and QIP would give an opportunity to do that. So in sum total, we finally decided to, go ahead with QIP. And as Sharad was rightly mentioning, the response was very, very humbling indeed. The kind of response we saw from the biggest of the blue chip, global as well as local investors was to that extent.
And how does this change your balance sheet in terms of the debt figure?
So what will happen is this, that effectively, if you look at the end of December, what we had reported, we reported a net debt of 26,300 crores. And this translated from a leverage profile point of view, a net debt to TTM EBITDA of about 4.6 times and a net debt to equity of about 1.3 times. This is still very, very healthy on a sector relative basis. So an already robust capital structure will get further bolstered by having this large liquidity pile and create an additional headroom in the balance sheet to accelerate the growth plans in lines with what Sharad was just mentioning, that to prepone the 2030 targets by a few years, this liquidity will really help in.
Effectively, you've given yourself headroom of close to 20,000 crore. Yes. You have strong capacity addition plans. Yes. There are a couple of targets in the NCLT, say like the Cuddalore, close to 1,200 megawatt of capacity. Would you be looking at inorganic growth plans? How serious are you, and how aggressively will you go ahead and bid for such assets?
These inorganic opportunities are a regular phenomena now. Without naming in particular any asset, if you see that so many platforms which are there, they have a fund life, and then they have the targets to exit. So we keep evaluating. We acquired, maybe not through the NCLT, but in about a year and a half back, what we did, Mytrah. So similarly, which was a very attractive opportunity which we saw, and we evaluated and we acquired. So similarly, our team keeps evaluating the opportunities which are there in the market, and as and when the opportunity suits. Because we have to keep in mind, it is everything value.
I think that makes it quite clear that the fundraise clearly targeted at quicker and more accelerated growth plans. Yes. Now, the next question is, a lot of companies actually have said that they will not go ahead and do thermal capacity addition. But in the last couple of years, there has been a change as far as the entire global outlook is concerned in terms of increased focus on thermal capacity addition. Where does the JSW Group stand currently in terms of thermal capacity?
See, first I will talk about India. As a country, you see that till about a year back, there was a number that by 2032, additional capacity of 55 gigawatt of thermal will be required to cater to the demand. Then government kept on revisiting the numbers, and they found themselves behind the curve, the way the demand growth is there. So the number got revised to 80 gigawatt, and the latest number is now that there will be a capacity addition of another 88 gigawatt in thermal space. But as I said, that for us, the core is in the renewable energy space. Of course, it doesn't mean anywhere if the opportunity is there and there is a need. So we will definitely like to be a part in this growth story, but our significant focus will be on the green energy space. Just to give you an example, that today, if we talk, including our hydro portfolio, we are at about 50-50. 50% is thermal of my total portfolio at year end, and 50% is renewable. But by year end, when FY25, the capacity additions which are happening, we will be in excess of 60% will be our renewable portfolio, and 40% will be thermal.
Interesting chat out there on JSW Energy, and we'll keep playing out sound bites all through the day. For the